Welcome to GetXAML. In this video, we'll understand the Bernoulli Naive Bayes theorems. Okay. So Bernoulli, you already know, and the data represents presence or absence, 1 or 0, true or false, even binary. The data is of type binary, okay, 0 or 1, true, false, present, absent. So then we can apply Bernoulli Naive Bayes classifier. So assuming that it follows Bernoulli, the data follows Bernoulli distribution. So it's a discrete distribution. So how will you write the probability mass function? It is written as PMF equal to probability of success to the power x into 1 minus probability of success, that is failure probability, to the power 1 minus x. Okay. So in our naive Bayes, how will you apply probability of xi given some class is equal to theta, that is probability of I for class C to the power xi into 1 minus theta ic to the power 1 minus xi. What this xi can take? The features, say for example xi or x1. x1 can take a set of zeros or ones like this, only binary values. x2 can take 0, 1 like this, with zeros or ones. So this is how you calculate your likelihood. Now how will you do the MLE, that is maximum likelihood estimation for these parameters from the data? So we apply. So what is that we are doing here? So theta for that particular class is given as count of this xi equal to 1. Xi is equal to 1. You're counting all the ones. Okay? So because the data contains only 1 or 0. So you count how many ones are there for that particular class. Okay. So divided by total count of C. Total number of classes represented as C. Okay. That is how you estimate this theta. So what are the properties of this? So it applies for data which has binary features, that is present, absent, okay, present of some mode or absent of some modes. Okay. What are the advantages? It is good for a small text, okay, simple and robust. If it is a long text, it may not give a good results. So you can use multinomial distribution. So where information rather than information, then frequency, that is presence of information matters, whether it's present or not. We are not worried about how many times it has been repeated. So what is the limitations? It ignores the frequency, not ideal for long documents. Smoothing is not actually needed, but in some rare cases. So what about the bias variance? So this model is also very simple. So it has high bias and then low variance, but it may discard some information because it's only saying present or absent of the information. Performs well with small data sets. What about the independence? Here it also assumes all the features are independent because all naive Bayes classifiers assume the conditional independence among the data. So correlated words or features increase bias, but model remains useful. Why it remains useful? I've explained already. Because we want only the proportionate probability, not exact probability values we are not finding. So because we want only the score to compare in the map to make the map decision. So let us take in parameter estimation example. For example, this is the given data set. So there are two features x1, x2, and then two classes spam and ham. How will you estimate? So for example, if I want to estimate the theta 1 for spam, so this is nothing but you count xi is equal to 1, presence of this. If they say xi equal to 1, to find out this. If they say xi equal to 0, to find that count in class C, that is in spam class, divided by total number of tuples, count of C, class spam. So this is nothing but if you see spam 1, 2, 3, and then there are 2 ones. So count is 2 divided by total are 3. This is 2 by 3. This is how we estimate. So if I estimate theta for second feature for spam class, you count x1 equal to 1. It will be again 2 by 3. If I want to estimate xy equal to 0, so you just count that 0. That is, for example, if I want theta I 1 spam where xi is equal to 0. In my case, I don't know what is that. In the problem, you can identify whether it's to find out this or xi equal to 0. If I say xi equal to 0, there is only 1 0 for the spam class out of 3. So observe here, the sum of probabilities will be always equal to 1. So 2 by 3 plus 1 by 3 is 1. Example, they are given two features. X1 means contains the word offer, X2 contains the word free. So if they are present, it is set as 1, else set as 0. Okay. So they are already given you the likelihood probabilities here. Okay. So if they don't give this, they ask you to calculate, then they will give data like this. From that you can estimate the probabilities and then find out your likelihood probabilities. So what is that you have to test? They are given this. There is a mail, you have to classify it as spam or ham. They are given x1 equal to 1, x2 equal to 0. This means what? X1 equal to 1 means this mail contains this word offer. X2 equal to 0 means it doesn't contain the word free. Now, you will calculate the probability scores. That is, probability of given spam given x1 equal to 1, x2 equal to 0. So this is proportional to probability of spam into probability of x1 equal to 1 given spam into probability of x2 equal to 0 given spam. This is nothing but 0.4. x1 equal to 1 given spam is 0.7 into p of x2 equal to 0 given spam. So they haven't given it. So they are given the other one. So how will you calculate p of x2 equal to 0 given spam will be what? 1 minus probability of x2 equal to 1 given spam. Because there are only two possibilities, 0 or 1, present or absent. So if they give you it is present, this is the probability, then absent probability is 1 minus that. We'll get it as 0.4. So this comes out to be 0, 1, 1, 2. Now you test it for the ham. Probability of ham given x1 equal to 1, x2 is equal to 0. The score is proportional to probability of ham into probability of x1 equal to 1 given ham into probability of x2 equal to 0 given ham. So this is given already 0.6 into probability of x1 equal to 1 given ham is 0.1. And then probability of x2 equal to 1 given ham is given. So there I want x2 equal to 0. So this is into 1 minus probability of x2 equal to 1 given ham. This is proportional to 0.6 into 0.1 into 1 minus 0.05. So if you calculate this, we'll get the probability as 0.057. So I can apply the map rule and then check that which class has highest score. This has the highest score. So the male is classified as spam. Okay. If you observe there is one more short concept here, normalization of this. Normalization of this probability value. See, I got 0.057 and here 0.112. If I add them, any of their score, so we will not get any difference in the result. But if you see this, the total sum of probability should be equal to 1. Okay, if we add them, I'll get 0.112 plus 0.057 equal to 0.169. This is not equal to 1. Sum of probability should be 1 because there are only two classes, ham and ham. So probability of this plus this should be equal to 1. So normalization says you normalize the score such that you get it as 1. So what you do is you divide by the sum. So what I will get now, probability of this spam normalized probability is 0.112 divided by 0.169. This comes out to be 0.662. Similarly, probability of the score, what you calculate for ham, normalize it. So 0.057 divided by 0.169. This comes out to be 0.337. Still, the result remains same. Okay, still I can classify it as spam because this is the highest score or highest probability. So if I normalize also, I'll get the same result. But now if you add them, I'll get it as 1. Okay, so that is more theoretically correct. That's the concept of normalization of probabilities. Okay, we'll solve many more practice problems in the next video. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe and share.